The University of Colorado is preparing to retire the jerseys of Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, and we got to talk about it, and boy, them folks been to be mad. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show, welcome. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If that is something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer this question in the comments below. Do you think Colorado is moving too fast in retiring the jerseys of Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter on April 19th at their spring game? The purple people are going to be so mad about this because you are jumping the gun on what people believe should take some time, some consideration. It's like it's comedy. It's tragedy plus time equals comedy. No, they're not waiting on this at all. They are retiring the jerseys of the guy who's got the single season passing record with over 4,000 yards in Shedeur Sanders and a Heisman Trophy winner in Travis Hunter. I think it's going to be the 2 and not the 12 that people are really getting in their feelings about, because for them, they don't even think that Shedeur Sanders is one of the better college football players in 2024, let alone a guy that deserves to have his jersey retired some 4 months after he finished playing college football. They would be wrong. They would be wrong. They would be wrong. But RJ, why do you think Shedeur Sanders should have his jersey retired? Because he was able to do what no other quarterback at the University of Colorado has been able to do, and that's where they're retiring his jersey. This is not a college football Hall of Fame that they are being entered into. This is the Colorado Hall of Fame, and they can put anybody in it that they damn well want to. If Dan Hawkins can get some run in there, you know damn well that Shedeur Sanders can get some run in there. And we're talking about the best quarterback that has ever played at the University of Colorado, and that is including Cordell Stewart, a.k.a. Slash, right? That is including Darren Hagan, all right? Anybody you want to throw out there as a quarterback at Colorado has not done what Shedeur Sanders has done. And when you're talking about Travis Hunter, I mean, dude went both ways, won the Heisman Trophy. Rashawn Salam, okay? Get out of here. But I don't want to spend too much time on the Travis Hunter bit, except to say, fool, what are you talking about that they don't retire his jersey quick, fast, and in a hurry? Nobody else gets to wear 12. Nobody else gets to wear 2. Get them out of here. The 12 in particular, though. Why? Because 12 is a popular number. A lot of people want to wear it. I mean, Tom Brady wore it at New England Patriots, so a lot of 12s coming around there. And then there's been the 12s that came before Tom Brady and since. But more to the point here, Travis Hunter is the only player in college football history to have 1,000 yards receiving, 90-plus catches, and at least 2 interceptions in the same season. And nobody's played the kind of snaps that he's played and been as productive as he has in the history of the sport, which spans more than 150 years. So get out of here with that noise. Second part of that is Shedeur Sanders was throwing him those passes. Yes, it matters because actually the strength of Colorado's offense last year was Shedeur Sanders throwing the ball down the field. And Travis Hunter can't catch no passes if they're not thrown accurately. Okay? We're also talking about a player that laid his body out in ways that many people want to gloss over because they are so incensed by the confidence of a young black man. They're just getting mad about it. The man took 50 sacks on a 4-win team in 2023. Flipped around, took a crap ton of sacks again, and still managed to throw 4,000 yards, get Colorado to a tie for first place in the Big 12 championship. They lost on a tiebreaker. They go to BYU. They lose that game. Big whoop. You're watching them. That's the other reason to retire the jersey. Shedeur Sanders has as much to do with you caring about Colorado as Deion Sanders, as Travis Hunter. Without a star quarterback, neither one of those things can happen. Even Deion Sanders would say, the most important thing you got to do up front is have a quarterback that you know can play. That was the recipe at Jackson State before Travis Hunter got there, and it's been the recipe ever since. This is why so many people are high on Caden Salter all of a sudden. People are already high on Juju Lewis. It's just going to take some time here. You're also talking about a moment in which Prime is really in a spot that he's never been in before. As I say this as I got a one-on-one with Coach Prime, and there's a story going up on Fox Sports where I write about how he got to this means and what he thinks about the spring game. Notably, he said this in the piece, and you can go read it. If it weren't 2 black men that were unapologetic, perhaps they would have let us play our little spring game. So we should have let some other people have the same idea first. And it's really that, man. It's not even that he had that idea first. It's that he's the first person with the audacity and the credibility as a Power 4 coach to pull that off. And then Fran Brown picked up what he was putting down quick, fast, and in a hurry, and they wanted to go get this done. This should have been rubber stamped by the Football Oversight Committee, but the things that they cited were, I kid you not, late timing. Never mind, the two universities decided that it was just enough timing for them to get something done for 3 days of practice. A recruiting advantage, which is nonsensical in the age of name, image, and likeness, where guys like Nico Iamaleava are trying to hold Tennessee hostage over $2 million. It ain't got nothing to do with recruiting at that point. It's about money, honey. Where the money going to be at this? Also, you had Colorado already going to play their college football spring game on television. This was just icing. You can't say that they got an unfair advantage from ESPN when ESPN was always going to put the game on, no matter who was playing in it, as long as Colorado was, right? And then the last one that I thought was just ridiculous is the academic interruption, as if football players don't have to miss class to go play games. Thursday football games, they in class, some of them. They got to travel. No, they're not. No, they're not. Friday? No, they're not. Not if they got to travel. Not Tuesday if they got to travel. Certainly Saturday, everybody's on the team playing. But you know what? When do you get back? How do you get back? I think that part is stupid. I really do. I am of the opinion that you go to college to get a job. Once you have a job, you ain't got to be in college no more. Unless you want to be. And I say this as a person with more degrees than most of the people that watch this show. I'm telling y'all, it's a fool's game to go to college if you ain't got to. If you can get a job, get a job. I'll give you a great example of this. I got my bachelor's from the University of Tulsa. I got my master's from the University of Oklahoma. I was in the PhD program at Oklahoma State. I wanted to be a program director. I wanted to have my own writing center. I wanted to have my own creative writing department. And I was well on my way. I had a book that was published, which is huge in the industry. And I was going to get a PhD in English with an emphasis in creative nonfiction, which is where I do the most of my work. Let It Bang on one hand, Requiem for the Mask on the other, looking to sell a third book and continue to write books because that's who I am. I love writing books. And those books that I just mentioned, they're good. You should read them. My program director, my advisor, asked me as I was getting into sports, right? And she was seeing YouTube stuff pop up on her Facebook, but also she would hear that I was hosting a radio show from 9 to 11 on the Sports Animal here in town. And she got wind that I was in a Super Bowl ad. And about the second semester of my second year in the program, she pulled me aside. She said, "Honey, why are you still here?" And I said, I want to be Dr. RJ. That would be great. And she goes, "Okay, what do you think you're going to make, Dr. RJ?" And I told her, and she says, "Lower." And then she asked me what I would make doing what I'm doing now. And she sighed after I told her. And she said, "Honey, I've never said this to anybody in my life, but I'm saying it to you. Drop out. You don't need to be here. Go get that money, honey. This will be here if you want to get back to it. So do that." And on a grander scale, that's what college football players get to do. You ain't got to graduate right now. All you got to do is be eligible enough to play. And sooner rather than later, they're going to do away with that crap too. Because frankly, I think we're playing ourselves here. We've been making this up. This is a lie that you need to go to college to get a job. It's a great way to get a job because everybody wants to see a degree on your resume, proof you can get through something. But it is never the thing that gets you into the spot unless you're doing something that is, you need the time to learn. Petroleum engineering, any mathematical background. But social sciences? Human resources, my guy? Communications? Nah, fam. That's called a pen and a pencil and a notepad. Can you take notes? Can you listen when people are talking? Do you have people skills? All things that, frankly, you should be learning. It's also kind of ludicrous that we need a master's degree for a head football coach to be a head football coach in a major university. You know damn well he ain't using that leadership degree. What the hell you look at? Leadership? Hey, dog, he learned more in leadership being in football meetings than he did going to class. We're playing ourselves. We're lying about this, and we're driving up the price of tuition to drive up the price of tuition at a time when everybody needs a break on paying for school. All that aside, people want to go to Buffalo. Buffalo. People want to be Buffaloes. People want to go to Boulder. And Prime, Shedeur, and Travis are a big reason as to why. And if you don't think that is true, you look at the attendance and the cost and the economic impact before Prime, Shedeur, and Travis arrived, and you look at it since. If you are still the person going, "I don't see it," you're never going to see it. You're never going to see it. You don't want to see it, and you are absolutely against them. All I ask is you say that out front.